Hello students, myself Shailesh Susparma, and in my previous lecture I had discussed about some applications of Gauss law. Okay, and in this lecture today we will discuss about the some other applications of Gauss law, like the electric field due to thin spherical charged cell and the electric field due to insulating charged sphere. Okay, so we will start the electric field due to uniformly charged thin spherical cell. Okay, so here we will consider a thin charged spherical cell in which q charge is distributed over its surface uniformly. Okay, and we have to calculate the electric field due to this spherical cell at outer side from the cell, at the surface of the cell, and inside the cell. Okay, so for first condition we will consider a point P is situated at outside and we consider a Gaussian surface where point P is situated. The distance of point P is small r and the radius of this sphere is capital R. So case first, when P lies outside from the shell. Okay, so if P lies outside from the cell, then we have to calculate the electric field at point P due to this spherical cell. Now the net electric flux passing through this spherical Gaussian surface, net electric flux passing through the spherical Gaussian surface, this will be phi E equals to surface integration of E dA cos theta. Okay, now here we have to consider a small surface area, that is dA, and the direction of electric field is this, and the direction of area vector is also in same direction as electric field. Now the angle between electric field and area vector is 0 degree. So we can write phi E equals to surface integration of E into dA, because the value of cos 0 is 1. Okay, so we will write phi E equals to E into surface integration of dA, and the value of surface integration of dA, that is the total surface area of the sphere. So the value of total surface area of the sphere is surface integration of dA, this is 4 pi r square. Okay, so phi E equals to E into 4 pi r square, this is the equation 1, and by Gauss law we will apply phi E equals to q upon epsilon naught, this is equation second. So by equation 1 and 2 we will write E into 4 pi r square equals to q upon epsilon naught, then E will be 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q upon small r square. This is the net electric field at its outer side from the cell. Okay, now if we consider the point P is situated at the surface, so case second, if P lies at the surface of shell. Okay, now we consider P is at the surface of the cell. then small r will be equals to capital R, because the distance of small p, the distance of point P from the center of the shell is small r. So if point P is lies at the surface of the spherical shell, then small r and capital R will be equal. So we will put the value of small r at the equation equals to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q upon r square. So electric field at the surface of the spherical shell will be 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q upon capital R square. This is the formula for electric field at the surface. Okay. Now if we consider point P lies at its inner side, suppose this is a spherical shell and charge is distributed uniformly over its surface, and the radius of this spherical shell is capital R. Now we consider a point P which is situated inside the surface. Then we consider this Gaussian surface of radius small r. Then we consider this is a Gaussian surface of area vector dA. Okay. So the total electric flux passing through this Gaussian surface is phi E equals to surface integration of E dA cos theta. Okay, and this value will be E into 4 pi small r square. Okay, so this is equation 1. Now by the Gauss law, phi E equals to q upon epsilon naught, but for this case q is 0. Why? Because Gauss law states that the total electric flux passing through any closed Gaussian surface is 1 upon epsilon naught times of the total charge enclosed by that surface, and the total charge enclosed by this surface is 0, because the total charge is situated outside from this surface. So total charge enclosed by this surface is 0, so phi E equals to 0. Now from equation 1, this will be E into 4 pi r square equals to 0. Okay, here we will put the value of phi. So E will be 0. This shows that the electric field at inside the spherical shell is always 0. Okay. Now if we plot the graph between electric field and distance for the spherical shell, then this will be at this, suppose this is a distance and this shows the electric field. Now we consider this is a spherical shell of radius capital R. So at this surface small r equals to capital R. Okay, and charge is distributed over this. Okay, so the net electric field at its surface is maximum and the electric field at its inside is 0. So as we move from the center of this spherical shell towards the surface, then electric field will be 0 inside the surface, and at the surface electric field will be maximum. We consider this is the maximum value of electric field, E max. Okay, so till the surface the electric field will be 0, and at the surface this will be maximum, and if we increase the distance further, then this will decrease like this, as E is inversely proportional to R square, because the value of electric field is E equals to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q upon R square. So electric field is inversely proportional to the square of the distance. Okay, so this will be at this side. This is the graph for the electric field and distance for the spherical shell. Now we are going to discuss next application of the Gauss law. This is electric field due to a uniformly charged insulating sphere. Okay. Now we consider an insulating sphere and charge is distributed in the insulating sphere. So for the insulating sphere, charge is distributed to the whole volume of the insulating sphere. But if there is a conductor, then charge will be only present in outer surface of the sphere. So for insulating sphere, the total charge is distributed over its whole volume of the insulating sphere. And if we consider this is a charge capital Q and radius of this sphere is capital R. Now we consider a point P which is situated at the surface of at the Gaussian surface, this which is the radius of this Gaussian surface is small r. So this is the point P. So for this condition, case first, if P lies outside from sphere, then total electric flux passing through this Gaussian surface will be E into 4 pi small r square. Okay, this is equation 1. Now by Gauss law, this will be phi E equals to Q upon epsilon naught, equation second. Then from equation 1 and 2, this will be E into 4 pi small r equals to Q upon epsilon naught. So E equals to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q upon small r square. This is the electric field at its outer point. Okay, and it is similar for the spherical shell. Okay. Now second case, if point P lies at the surface of the sphere, so this will be small r equals to capital R. So electric field at the surface is given by 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q upon capital R square. This is the formula for electric field at its surface. Okay. Now for third case, if point P lies inside from the surface, so third condition, if P lies inside sphere. Now we consider this is a insulating sphere and total charge is distributed in whole volume of this sphere. Okay, and capital Q charge is distributed over its whole volume. Now we consider point P lies inside in the sphere. So we consider this is a Gaussian surface of radius small r and the radius of this sphere is capital R. Now charge enclosed by this spherical surface of radius small r will be different because total charge is capital Q and at this surface total charge will be q dash. This is different from whole charge. Okay, so net electric flux passing through the spherical Gaussian surface of radius small r is given by phi e equals to E into 4 pi small r square. This is equation 1. Okay, now by Gauss law we apply Gauss law, then phi e equals to, now the total charge enclosed by this Gaussian surface is q dash, so this will be q dash upon epsilon naught. This is equation 2nd. So from equation 1 and 2, this will be E into 4 pi r square equals to q dash upon epsilon naught. So E will be E equals to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q dash upon small r square. This is the formula for electric field at a point which is situated inside the insulating sphere. Now if volume charge density is rho, then rho equals to q upon v, and this will be always constant throughout the volume. So this will be q dash upon v dash. Okay, v is total volume of the sphere and v dash is the volume of this Gaussian surface. Okay, so this will be q upon 4 by 3 pi capital R cube, because capital q charge is distributed over whole the volume of the sphere, and q dash is distributed over the volume of the sphere of radius small r. So this will be 4 by 3 pi small r cube. Now 4 by 3 pi, 4 by 3 pi, this will be cancelled. So q by r cube equals to q dash upon small r cube. Now we will put the value of q dash. So q dash will be small r cube divided by capital R cube into capital Q. Now we will put this value of q dash in equation 2nd. So from equation 2nd we can write E equals to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. The value of q dash is r cube divided by r cube into capital Q, and this is r square. So this becomes equals to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught capital Q into small r upon capital R cube. This is the equation for electric field due to insulating sphere and inside the sphere. So this shows that E is directly proportional to small r for the inside. Now if we draw a graph between electric field and distance for insulating sphere, so we will draw the graph. This is a distance, small r lies in x-axis and electric field lies in y-axis. Now we consider this is a sphere, insulating sphere, and its center is O. This is a surface point, small r equals to capital R, and at the surface the value of electric field will be maximum. So we consider the maximum value of electric field is this. This is E max. Now we see that inside the sphere electric field is directly proportional to distance. So this will be straight line. Okay, the graph for electric field and distance is straight line inside the sphere. Okay, and after the surface, if we increase the distance, then this will be inversely proportional to the square of the distance. So this decreases like this. Okay, this is E is inversely proportional to R, and for this condition E is directly proportional to small r, because inside the sphere E is directly proportional to r, and outside the sphere E is inversely proportional to the square of the distance. So this is the graph for insulating sphere. Okay, so this is sufficient for today, and in the next lecture we will discuss some best numericals of Gauss law. So keep studying. Thanks to all of you. Thank you.